And as they turn for home, American Pharoah has lost the lead at the top of the stretch. Frosted on the outside is now in front, but American Pharoah is battling on from the inside. He's showing all this fight with 1 furlong to run. And here on the far outside comes Keen Ice with a light threat. American Pharoah put away Frosted. He has to deal with Keen Ice. Keen Ice has got him. Keen Ice has won the Travers over American Pharoah in a dramatic upset.
Welcome to the Paddock Pass with Brian Mariano on 104.5 The Team.
Hello, friends. Once again, we are back here on the Paddock Pass, your weekly review show here on 104.5 The Team and 104.5theteam.com. On this week's episode, we're going to review last week and how we got completely gypped out of that pick four. Most of the time, I want all of you guys to play the picks that I throw out there, but I would feel so bad if you were like me and some of my family and friends that actually played it. We'll get to that in a minute. Good news, though, we had our $10 show bet did hit. Taste for Talent ran second for us, which was a nice hit, being over 15-1, so we got a little more money in the kitty this week to push on that show bet. And every week I'm going to put my picks on 1045theteam.com. Last week those picks did pretty well. We were 83% in the money, and we were 4 out of 12, a nice 33% win percentage in last week's Gulfstream Park Saturday card. Now, we're going to go over a few different things in this episode. We're obviously going to keep updated what's going on over in Dubai, Frosted Grand. We have updates on California Chrome. And, of course, we're going to look forward to this weekend's racing action where we have a few Kentucky Derby prep races with some Kentucky Derby points in the line as well. Our always favorite 3-year-old Songbird is running again this weekend. We'll preview that race. We will preview the San Antonio Stakes at Santa Anita. That'll be race 7 on the Santa Anita Saturday card. And, of course, we're going to go through all of our selections. We'll give our best bet of the weekend. We're going to give our best show wager that hopefully we can keep going. And, of course, we're going to give out the pick 4 at Gulfstream Park this weekend, which is huge racing action this weekend at Gulfstream Park. A 13-race card headlined by the Don Handicap, which is the last of 13 races. Well, let's segue right into last weekend's action, where I'm still heartbroken. I don't think I'm over this quite yet. Of course, I give out my pick 4 ticket, a very minimal price ticket, only $22. And we get all the way through the first 2 legs. We get Chad Brown that pays over $10. What a nice hit that was, until we got to the last leg. We absolutely hammered Mohey Men, which was a great single. Short price, but much the best winner. So we get to the last leg where we have a ton of chances, and we get a winner home. We get the 6 home. He's a winner. We're cashing tickets, $108 on a $22 ticket, until they flash the inquiry sign. And that absolutely ripped my heart out. I had my father calling me. We were getting phone calls back and forth. I'm excited. We hit it. Great job. We played the ticket. And then they hit the inquiry sign on us. They look at it for about 10 minutes. I'm telling my father on the phone there's no way that they take this horse down. There's just not enough happened throughout the stretch run of this race to take him down. And, of course, with my wonderful luck, they take him down. And we get knocked out of our pick 4 ticket. It just absolutely was heart-wrenching. It would have been a great weekend having the show bet hit and our pick 4. But, we pick ourselves back up and we try again this week. On the good news, though, we did have that show bet hit. Taste for Talent was a huge winner for us. I actually thought the horse was going to get up and win, but just didn't have anything in the last 100 yards. Held on to run second. Now we have $35 to push forward this week in that show bet hit. I got a nice price horse for you. That's going to come a little later in the show. This is the Paddock Pass here, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. We're going to move on now to our updates over in Dubai. Big race this weekend where Frosted ran very, very well. It was very impressive to see him win the way he did in his Dubai prep. I do have some concerns, though. While it was a great win, I still question his ability to run against the older horses. As we watched in the Breeders' Cup, didn't run very well, granted, against, one of the best horses we'll ever see in American Pharoah. That'll segue, though, into me looking, can he really beat a horse in the caliber of California Chrome? If the real California Chrome shows up at all, I really don't think that Frosted can handle California Chrome. Although the style, I'll give him this, the style of Frosted really will help over this Maidan Racecourse, where he has very good tactical speed. He'll sit nice and close, and we'll be able to hit a nice stretch run in that long stretch over there in Maidan. But I just don't know if he can handle the caliber of horses that are coming over. We're going to look at a Keen Ice, which is going to run this weekend in the Don, is pointing towards that afterwards. California Chrome obviously prepping over there. So I'm still questioning whether this horse can run against the really good 4-year-olds. We'll see. As we'll segue right into California Chrome, he looks fantastic in his prep work, throwing up really good times. And as I was saying before, talking about Frosted, California Chrome's already been here. He raced last year in the Dubai World Cup, ran a really game second. I look at him this year as going to be the favorite in this race. I hope we get a good price, but that's, for down the road, we'll see. We'll keep updating as we get more updates from Dubai. I just really think this horse is heading in the right direction. I really think this prep race is going to be perfect for him, gives him a nice 4-week break. The question's really going to be, will the horse show up? The horse has always been there in the big time when he ran the Kentucky Derby. The only time I really questioned him was the end of his 3-year-old season up against Shared Belief, which I thought at the time was the best horse running in the world, obviously before we knew about American Pharoah. But this horse seems to be heading in the right direction. So I think everything seems on par for what Art Sherman. You get Victor Espinoza, who's on an all-time high right now over the past 2 seasons, grabbing California Chrome, winning 5 of the last 6 Triple Crown races. So we'll see. I think this horse is going to be ready to go in less than 2 months' time. We'll keep the updates as they keep coming across to us. This is the Paddock Pass here, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. And now we're going to look towards this weekend's action. There's a lot of racing. This is a Saturday where you don't get too many great racing days in early February. This is a Saturday that you really want to get together before the Super Bowl, maybe get a bankroll going so you can go and bet those prop bets. Look at some, not going to lie, I really like the under in the national anthem. Guys had that at 2 minutes, 13 seconds. I really don't know if Lady Gaga's going to get there. Just throwing it out there now. If you get good odds, grab the under in the national anthem prop bet. So we move on to the weekend action. We're looking at Kentucky Derby prep races out of Santa Anita, the Robert B. Lewis, where this is going to be kind of where we start changing gears into the West Coast horses as we looked at last year where American Pharoah ran. This is where most of the good horses have been coming out of. The West Coast has just seemed to be the way to go over the last few years. So we'll keep an eye on that, obviously looking at the Robert B. Lewis this weekend. Bob Baffert has the favorite, and boy, is this guy on fire right now. He's winning everything. Of course, having American Pharoah last year, he seems to be one of the best trainers going. This weekend, he might keep the mojo going. Has 2 in this race where both of them have a legitimate chance. This Moore Spirit with Gary Stevens on top has just been phenomenal coming into this race. Will definitely be the favorite. I'm hoping we get the morning line. We get 7-5, 8-5 around there. I think this horse could be much the best. He's also got Let's Meet in Rio on the inside with Kent DeSormo for Juddmont Farms. This could be another one where he had last year when he had American Pharoah and Dortmund. Could be another powerhouse thrown at us here, but we can't throw out the 2 for Jerry Hollendorfer and Mike Smith. I Will Score. This horse has been really good. Jerry Hollendorfer is fantastic on the West Coast. I had this down as a match race between the 2, I Will Score and More Spirit, the 5. And we'll see. This is going to be a race that could tell us who is going to be the best horse coming out of the West Coast going into early March and April when we start really paying attention to the Kentucky Derby favorites. Once again, the Paddock Pass here, 104.5 The Team, 104.5theteam.com. And another big storyline this weekend at Santa Anita is the return of my girl, Songbird. I still have no idea why this horse isn't on the Kentucky Derby trail. By far and away, in my opinion, the best 3-year-old in training. Part of me wants to understand why the connections want to keep this horse heading towards the Black Eye Susan and a lot of the big filly races this year. But your 2-year-old filly champ, why not take a chance? If you feel like you have the best horse, take a chance. Go out and beat all the guys. Why not? So I think the connections are missing on this one. This horse could be just as good as Rachel Alexandra was. We're in for a heck of a ride over the next 3 to 4 years, but horse is 1-5 this weekend. I think she is going to be she'll be 1-9 most likely. I believe she wins rather easily. Now, if you're playing pick 3s, pick 4s, this should be an easy single for you. and hopefully you can make a ton of money on races before or after this. So we'll look at the return of Songbird in the Las Virgenes Stakes Saturday at Santa Anita Park. On that same card, we will look at the older horse division in the San Antonio, which is wide open. This is a fantastic race. As I was saying, when you have exotics, you could look at this one as well, where you can make a lot of money. Anyone has a chance in this race, so obviously my handicapping guts tell me I have to look for a price. I want somebody who can really give me $15 or more on the win. So I looked at Hard Aces, the 4. He's been in tough company his last few. He really likes the track there at Santa Anita, so I really think this is going to be good. I really love the price. I think this horse is going to be 10-1 or more, has a chance, and I really think that we can hit this one. I would have Hard Aces, the 4, on all of your tickets if you're going to play pick 3s, if you're going to play exactas. This horse has got to be a part of it at some point. So make sure you have Hard Aces in race 7, the San Antonio, on the Saturday card at Santa Anita. Paddock Pass here, 1045 The Team, 1045theteam.com. Don't forget you can have all of my selections for Gulfstream Park. That'll be on 1045theteam.com. Hopefully we can keep the good momentum going. Last weekend we had a great weekend. Looking to keep it going here. As I looked at this card, I thought the best betting sequence had to be the late pick 4. So I put together a pick 4 ticket that, again, I will give you here and I will have on 1045theteam.com. And hopefully this weekend with this ticket, we don't get beaten by an inquiry. Oh, still kills me. I just can't deal with it. But we start this pick 4 off with the Gulfstream Park Turf Sprint, 5 furlongs on the turf. And after seeing how many you get maiden 5.5 turf races at Saratoga, I still have no idea how to handicap these races. I mean, I almost think you have to have a ton of speed. Then every time I bet the speed, I get a closer that absolutely kills me. So I have no idea in this race. I took a few shots. Hopefully we can get by it, and I have a nice single later that I think will be a single on a lot of tickets, but I'm trying to make some money in certain races to offset that easy single. So in race 10, if you're just betting the race, I really like the 4, Pure Sensation. Might be the favorite in this race. I still think you'll get 5-2 or better, though. Christophe Clement has pretty good numbers at Gulfstream Park. John Velasquez, you can't argue with that. I thought this was a great drop down for this horse. You drop him back down into a nice stake where he would like. You're coming out of the Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, which is a really tough race. It's one of the toughest races to handicap in all of horse racing. So I really think this horse will have a good look here. I hope to get 5-2 or better. But we spread out in this leg just because I can't always be so sure. So in the pick 4, I went 4, 6, 9, 10, and 13. So we went 5 deep in the first. I really like the 4 if you're playing the race itself. You can play around it, but we took a few shots here, hopefully being able to catch a price or two. Moving on to race 11, which is a maiden special weight, 1.1 miles on the dirt. But this race seemed to be, I don't want to say wide open because you can narrow it down, and I think a lot of the speed will be able to hold up in this race. That's why I look towards the 3, West Point Thoroughbreds, Thomas Abitrani, and Luis Saez. That's Wheels Up Now. I honestly thought this horse could go to the lead, having a really nice post position and be able to just dictate from there. So if you're betting this race straight up, I really like this horse. Hopefully we get 2-1 or better. He'll be the early speed, and I think that speed's going to hold up. I really think he'll be able to go to the lead and then be able to draw away in the stretch. I did spread out a little bit because this race was a little bit tough. I went 1, 2, 3, and 5. And I looked at a few horses just in case that speed didn't hold up, like the 5 Kelly's Tough, Paco Lopez there. Trainer's got really good numbers. Ran pretty well in the beginning at 7 furlongs. We stretch it out a little bit, being able to sit off the speed and might be able to come up and get us a price to get this pick 4 going. So as we move to the 12th race, this is where my single is going to be. In order to keep the ticket at kind of a reasonable price, to try and keep the ticket relatively low, I singled here. I probably could have gone 2, maybe 3 deep if possible. I really think the Pizza Man's going to come back off the win. I really think this horse is going to be sitting nice and close, even though there's not a lot of speed early. I don't think it really affects these longer races too much. So I'm sure Shining Copper is going to go to lead with Chad Brown. This horse will probably go to the lead, but I think the Pizza Man's much the best here. I'm going to single. If you're playing the race straight up, you want to hit some exactas or something, I would include the 1 Luke's Alley for Josie Carroll and Paco Lopez. This horse seems to be always in the money, always close. So in the 12th, we'll single the 6th, the Pizza Man. And now we move on to the last and 13th on the card, and this by far is one of the tougher races to pick So once again, as we tried to keep the ticket relatively small, I could have made cases for probably 6 of these horses, but we wanted to keep the ticket pretty small, and this race is just fantastic. And for all of us Saratoga people, we remember last summer like it was yesterday, American Pharoah getting beat by Keen Ice still rips my heart out, but this horse might be on the right track in this race. Hasn't looked good in his last couple. Last visited the winner's circle in the Travers, and I really think he could have a look against this field. Now, this is by no means an easy field. Very, very tough field here. So I went 3 deep in our pick 4 ticket. I included the 6 Keen Ice, and then I also threw in the 3 Miss-A-Wish, and I threw the number 4 in for a price invalid. I think Marcus Vitale just has really good numbers down at Gulfstream, and I think this horse is ready to jump up in the grade 1 level. I threw him in. You can make cases for the 7. It's a knockout. Loves this track. Has been off for a little bit. Second start off the pretty long layoff, so he could be used. I felt like he was going to be the second choice here, so I went to try and get a couple other prices. As we review pick 4 selections here on the Paddock Pass, race 10, we went 5 deep. That's 4, 6, 9, 10, and 13. Race 11, we went 4 deep, 1, 2, 3, and 5. We singled the Pizza Man in race 12. And in race 13, the Don Handicap, we went 3, 4, and 6. Now, hopefully we can get through that one this week. I hope to bring you guys a ton of money with that. But now we're going to move on to our big show bet of the week. And now I went through this card at Gulfstream. I wanted to find another one where we can push this maybe to 70, 80, maybe even $100. So we'll have $35 on the line. And my big show bet this week is going to be in race 9. That is number 9, Decisive Boss. This horse has a win 2 back at the same exact distance. Tried to stretch out, didn't work out, but now drops back down into claiming company here, and I think the price is going to be really good. This race is about as wide open as it gets, 7.5 furlongs on the turf, and I'm hoping to get at 9, 10 to 1 on this horse. Really kind of an unknown trainer and jockey, but the numbers are good. The horse seems to always be in it, and I think he's going to have a really good trip here. We're going to push our $35 this week on the 9, Decisive Boss in race 9 at Gulfstream Park. We'll book that one. Hopefully have a ton of money ready for you next week, and hopefully we'll be able to hit this pick 4. Now, we're hoping to have a really good weekend. It's going to be a great weekend of betting. Hopefully we get some winners home for you. Check out all my selections at 1045theteam.com, and I appreciate you guys listening in. This is the Paddock Pass with your host, Brian Mariano, on 1045 The Team and 1045theteam.com.